Welcome back to Turf War, where Burnley have just beaten Bournemouth by 4-0. I do apologise for the lack of sound towards the end of the commentary. We ran out of power, and unfortunately we didn't capture the fourth goal, so we do apologise. But we got the power back in time for a very big game down at the Amex today, where Chris Whiteman is based, and we'll be crossing over to him very, very shortly. Storm FM have just subscribed to the channel, so good evening to you. But before we go any further with that, we're going to open up the comments section as well in just a second or two, because obviously we are live at the moment, and for these bigger games, well, you know, the 3 o'clock kickoffs we don't bother because we just don't. But for the televised games that we cover, no, we do put the comment section. You guys can get involved and stuff like that. So we're just going to change the settings, go and do in a second or two. We're going to do the full classified check like we do every other Saturday, and then we're going to throw over to Chris, who's going to make his long return to the commentary box. We really have missed him on the JB Clark YouTube channel. I do apologise for the.
Take drug-free midnight anytime, even the middle of.
I do apologise for the American accents you may have seen there. I do apologise, but we've got rid of them now, and we're going to put the chat on for you, and so that's enabled. So if you want to, so we're going to do hashtags again tonight. It's going to be Claret is his nickname. So MC Live hashtag tonight, because he's the commentator. Before we build up to tonight's big game, let's check, of course, as we ought to every single week, as we do. I'm going to read out to you now the full classified check from England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Of course, we'll give you the updated tables as well. So let's start the full classifieds, starting of course with the Premier League. Brighton and Hove Albion against Spurs, that's our game at 5:30. Burnley 4, Bournemouth 0. Cardiff City 0, Manchester City 5. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. 1. Leicester City 3, Huddersfield 1. Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. And Manchester United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Into the Sky Bet Championship, Aston Villa 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Derby 3, Brentford 1. Ipswich 0, Bolton 0. Leeds United 1, Birmingham City 2. Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 0. Nottingham Forest 1, Rotherham 0. QPR against Norwich City, that's an evening kick-off, also at 5:30. Reading 3, Hull City 0. Sheffield United 3, Preston 2. Stoke City 2, Blackburn Rovers 3. And West Bromwich Albion 2, Millwall 0. Sky Bet League 1, Accrington Stanley 2, AFC Wimbledon 1. Barnsley against Burton Albion, match postponed. Blackpool 0, Luton 0. Bristol Rovers 3, Coventry 1. Charlton 2, Plymouth 1. Doncaster 2, Bradford 1. Gillingham 2, Peterborough United 4. Oxford 1, Walsall 2. Portsmouth 2, Wickham 2. Scunthorpe 1, Shrewsbury 0. Southend 1, Fleetwood Town 0. And Sunderland 4, Rochdale 1. Sky Bet League 2, Bury 0, Carlisle United 1. Cambridge 1, Mansfield 1. Crewe 0, Port Vale 1. Exeter 3, Cheltenham 1. Forest Green Rovers 1, Crawley 0. Lincoln City 2, the MK Dons 1. Morecambe 2, Macclesfield 1. Northampton Town 0, Notts County 0. Oldham 3, Colchester 3. Stevenage 1, Grimsby Town 0. Tranmere 0, Newport 1. And Yeovil Town 0, Swindon Town 3. Into the Vanarama National League, Aldershot 2, Dover 0. Barnet 1, AFC Fylde 1. Barrow 2, Maidenhead 0. Braintree Town 0, Maidstone 1. Chesterfield 0, Gateshead 3. Eastleigh 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Ebbsfleet 1, Everton Waterlooville 1, Halifax 1, Hartlepool 2, Harrogate Town 0, Leyton Orient 3, Salford City 3, Bournemouth 1, Solihull Moors 5, Burnley 0, and Sutton United 3, Wrexham 0. And into Scotland now with the Ladbrokes Premiership. Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 0, Dundee 0, Hibernian 3, Hamilton Academicals 3, St Mirren 0, and Hearts 0, Livingston 0. Ladbrokes Championship. Alloa Athletic 0, Ayr 2, Falkirk 0, Dundee United 2, Greenock Morton 1, Dunfermline 1, Partick Thistle 3, Queen of the South 2, and Ross County 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0. League 1, Airdrie 1, Dumbarton 1, Forfar 1, Brechin 1, Raith Rovers 1, Montrose 1, Stenhousemuir 1, Arbroath 2, and Stranraer 0, East Fife 2. Ladbrokes League 2, Clyde 4, Elgin City 1, Cowden Beef 1, Albion Rovers 1, Peterhead 1, Berwick Rangers 0, Queen's Park 0, Edinburgh City 2, and Stirling and Albion 1, Annan Athletic 2. The JD Welsh Premier League, Barry Town 2, Kevin Drury's 1, Carnarvon Town 3, Nalathney Town 0, Carmarthen 2, Aberystwyth 2, Llandudno against Connors Quay, that's an evening kick-off, and Newtown 2, Cardiff MU 1. And finally, the Danske Bank Premiership, Cliftonville 3, Ballymena 2, Coleraine 0, Linfield 0, Dungannon Swifts 0, Ards 0, Glenarvan 3, Crusaders 2, and finally Glentoran 2, Institute 1. Okay, so that's the full classified check. So let's have a look at the Premier League table very quickly. Liverpool, perfect start, 6 wins out of 6, the first time ever in history that's happened. 18 points from 6 games. Then Manchester City in second place with 16. Chelsea will play tomorrow in our live match against West Ham. You'll hear that with me. Watford complete the top 4, having drawn 1-1 at Fulham today. United dropped to 5th with their draw against Wolves. Bournemouth dropped, in fact Bournemouth, they go above Bournemouth into 6th place. Spurs 7th, they play in a minute. Leicester and Arsenal and Wolves completing the top 10. Wolves really playing terrifically well and getting a deserved draw. At the wrong end of the table, Huddersfield are now the team propping up the rest. They're bottom with 2 points. Cardiff second bottom on goal difference and actually on alphabetical order because they have the same minus 11 goal difference. Newcastle complete the bottom 3. Burnley climb out with victory, as you heard at Turf Moor, here at Turf Moor today. Fulham in 15th and Brighton, who play tonight, start the match in 13th place. We've also got some people on as well. Panini's on, JB Live, Scally out. 21st place, Gillingham look doomed. So it looks as if Gillingham had another bad day at the office today. So Panini not happy with Gillingham's supply this afternoon. But a real big game here over 400 miles down the road in the south coast, and this could be a potential banana skin for Spurs. Now remember, they've lost their last 3 matches. They were beaten at 2-1 at Watford before the international break. They lost at Liverpool last week. Lost at home to Liverpool last week by 2-1 at Wembley. And in midweek, in a game that I covered for the JB Claret channel, they were 1-up and seemingly on their way to a victory at Inter Milan, a morale-boosting victory at Inter Milan, but then contrived to lose 2 late goals and lose the match 2-1. And this could be a good time for Brighton to play them, because Brighton at the Amex are a very decent proposition. And waiting down there on the south coast, I'm really pleased to welcome the return of the man himself, Chris Whiteman, CW94. CW, nice to have you back on the channel.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Indeed. So Chris, quick word on Burnley today. What was your assessment on the performance? Much better than it was on Sunday, wasn't it?
it was a drastic and emphatic improvement that was very much needed. But they've still got two big games coming up in Cardiff and Huddersfield, which are must-wins, given the start of the season we've had. So good today, very good today. Probably the best I've seen them in the Premier League for a long time. But there's still a long way to go before I start getting all happy about how things are being run. We'll touch on that maybe a little bit later on in the week, perhaps, if I get round to fully editing my ranting and raving that I've done with you earlier, John. But we shall see. Good performance nonetheless.
Indeed, Chris, and we'll be going over to the Amex in a second or two. So this really is a big game tonight for Brighton. Spurs really in complete disarray. Just to tell you that Panini's been back on. The Gills were 2-1 up, and then we contrived to lose 4-2. So we're going to go over to the stadium in just a minute or two, because it's 9 at the Amex Stadium, where Chris is all ready with the team news for you, and we'll take you through the first half. Just before we do,
and the teams are out, John, just so you know.
Oh, the teams are back out. Just before I hand over to Chris, we'll get an interview with Sean Dyche and one or two protagonists from the 3 o'clock kick-offs at half-time. But for now, let's cross over to the Amex Stadium, to the south coast, to Sussex by the Sea, for a big game here between Brighton and Tottenham. So let's hand over to CW himself, Chris Whiteman. It's good to have you back with us, Chris. Take it away.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a fantastic day of football in the top flight. Plenty of goals to look at. The match of the day billing is going to be really fun to watch, unless you're a Crystal Palace and Newcastle fan. You will probably be dead last, sadly. But it's good to be back. But Brighton against Tottenham. I'm just going to go through the teams now. Obviously, Tottenham, they're not in the best of form, are they? 3 defeats on the spin. They're looking to respond to their rather shocking last 10 minutes against Inter Milan. But first, let's go through the teams quickly. So, both teams lining up in 2 variants of the 4-5-1 formation, although Brighton are lining up more in a 4-1-4-1 formation. So, here's the team for them. Ryan starts in goal. You've then got Bong, Dunk, Duffy and Montoya as the defenders. Stevens is sitting just in front of the defence as the holding midfielder. Then you've got March, Bissouma, Proper and Knockarts as the 4-man midfield, and Glenn Murray is up front on his own. He's in good scoring form to start this season, so watch out for him today. Another Englishman you might want to look out for is Harry Kane. He's a little bit under pressure to score, but 2 goals in the first 5-6 games isn't the worst return in the world. But here's the team for Tottenham. A changing goal for them as, oh goodness, I don't want to say number 22's name, but their goalkeeper is I'll just call him Gaza. It's not Paul Gascoigne, but I'm not saying that last bit. Anyway, the defence, this is more of a 4-2-3-1 formation. It's different variants of 4-5-1. As kick-off is 20 seconds away, so I'll round this up quickly. So you've got Rose, Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Trippier as the 4-man defence. You've got Dembele and Dyer holding down just in front of the defence. Then you've got Son, Eriksson and Moura as the 3 in front of the holding midfielders. And Harry Kane, as I mentioned, is up front on his own. Substitutes today for Brighton. You've got Kyle, Lokeda, Andon, Balogun. Balogun, a familiar name for me. I've covered him a couple of times. Number 16, Jan Bak. I can't say his name. If you look up who the number 16 is for Brighton and see that name, do give me a heads up on the pronunciation. Another one that's easier to say, however, Button, and then lastly Bernardo for Brighton. As for Tottenham, it's a bit easier to pronounce. You've got David Sanchez, Harry Winks, Eric Lamela, Victor Wanyama, Dele Alli is on the bench as well, Aurier, and wow, there is a Whiteman on the bench for Tottenham Hotspur. It's not a relation. That's quite cool. Anyway, kickoff is upon us, and Brighton are attacking the goal to our right. Tottenham kick us off. They are wearing their away strip, which is kind of a greeny bluey colour, mostly green. Brighton are in their traditional white and blue striped tops as they get us underway here. Tottenham have the ball at the back. We're 20 seconds in. Lloris. Here's Trippier. Back to not Lloris. What am I talking about? He's not there. I just listed the teams. It's not Lloris. It's Gaza. Gaza is what we'll go with. It's a great start. I'm a little bit rusty on the commentary. Anyway, Rose gets it into midfield. Here's Ericsson on this left-hand side by the touchline. Back to Rose, just inside the Brighton half. Played across by Dembele. Dyer looking to dink the ball long over to the right-hand side. Then immediately, Tottenham applying the pressure. We're not even a minute in, and it's a corner to Tottenham on the far side. Kieran Trippier's going across to take. Pochettino in a coat. It is a rainy day in Brighton. Much like the rest of England, to be fair. It's been raining here, there and everywhere. It's very unlikely to be sunny anywhere at the moment. Everyone's up for Spurs. Kieran Trippier plays it short to Dembele, who tries to whip in the cross, but it's immediately charged down. Ball's heading back towards the halfway line. It's a foot race between Murat, but he wins the foot race. And now it's Alderweireld in control here. Now Danny Rose on this near side touchline, just on the halfway line. Here's Ericsson. Back to Dembele. Dembele turns back towards the touchline and gives it to Danny Rose, who's gone further up the pitch. Just on the edge of the final third on this near side. Rose playing it back, very smartly keeping possession. Here's Dembele. Alderweireld playing it across. Vertonghen. Forward to Dyer. They're being forced backwards by Brighton. They're pressing quite highly up, although there's not much Glenn Murray can do on himself. Back to the goalkeeper, Gaza. And now Danny Rose again on this near side, just inside Tottenham's half. Plays it over the halfway line to Ericsson. Ericsson back to Danny Rose. Almost wrong-footed him, but he manages to recover well. Plays it back to Vertonghen. Obviously, Tottenham's form before this 3-loss streak was 3 wins on the spin, so they are a very capable side. Let's not forget that, as they're playing around at the back. Here's Vertonghen, deep inside his own half, plays it into the centre circle where Dembele is waiting, although he's being followed all the way by Stevens. Now it's onto this far side with Kieran Trippier. Tries to play a ball forward towards Murat, but he can't quite get it to him, and now it's come all the way back to Ryan, who has to lump it long left-footed, and it goes out for a throw just inside the Brighton half on the far side. Didn't really have many options there, Ryan. He had to just lump it long, and at least it went out of place. No chance of the ball immediately coming back. 3 minutes gone. Chris Hughton, also with his coat on. He's a very smart man, I suppose. Long ball played over the top by Eric Dyer towards Murat, but it was Kieran Trippier just couldn't quite get to it as Murat gave up on it. It's gone out for a goal kick. Pochettino not looking impressed with that ball over the top. Also not looking very impressed with the weather. What is this? Rain? It's England, Pochettino. You've been here a long time now. You should be used to it. As we just see a replay of that long ball over the top. It didn't quite come off for them, which is a shame for him. But it's a bit of a camo-looking kit, this away kit for Tottenham. The shirt's a bit camo-y. It doesn't help when it's bright green. I don't know. Do you want to be seen or not seen? Make up your mind. Anyway, a bit of head tennis on the far side near the halfway line. Eventually the ball breaks and has gone straight back to the Tottenham goalkeeper. No Michel Vorm this time, for whatever reason. I'm not sure why he wasn't. Perhaps it was just bad form. Obviously, the current goalkeeper, former goalkeeper at Southampton, if that gives you an idea of who he was. But the ball goes out of play on this near side touchline on the halfway line. As we're just looking at the Tottenham bench here. There's Harry Winks. Obviously, it would be great to see him back to full fitness. He's a cracking player. Hasn't really had that break that he needed after his injury, but his time will come, I'm sure. Here's Brighton overthrow just on this near side by the technical area. Throws it long towards Glenn Murray. Glenn Murray controlled it, but just couldn't quite direct it to a Brighton player as Dembele wins the ball back. Being forced back up this near side, but then turns, gets it inside to Dyer. Dyer plays it back to Vertonghen on the edge of his own box. Now it's Alderweireld breaking out from the back. Gives it to Dyer, about halfway inside his own half. Lovely pullback. And plays it forward to Harry Kane in the centre circle. Plays it back to Trippier. Trippier plays it forward to Ericsson. Ericsson to Murat. Murat back to Trippier. Ball's gone out for a throw on that far side. It's gone to Brighton by the looks of things, from the linesman saying. The referee agrees. Just on the edge of the final third on the far side. as it's thrown in over the halfway line towards Glenn Murray, who is battling 3 Tottenham players and wins the throw for it as well, bang on the halfway line. Saying he should be getting a foul for it, but Kieran Trippier says no as he helps him to his feet. Glenn Murray, some people were disappointed he didn't get an England call-up for the World Cup as he flicks on the header from the throw, but that then goes as far as Kieran Trippier, who does win the throw off of the Brighton player. Kicked it against him, rather cheeky, but there you go. As long as it puts the danger out of the way and gets the ball back, he won't care. So it's a throw just on the edge of the Tottenham box. In line with it, should I say. That would be absurd if it was actually on the edge of the penalty box. As Trippier throws it to Eriksen, who proceeds to just lump it straight out of play to the halfway line, which, well, it was the last time these two met. It finished a 2-2 draw. It was 2-0 at one stage, but eventually finished a draw. As Brighton win the ball back in their own half and now playing it around at the back. It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, Ryan. This time lumps it right-footed, which I think is his favoured foot, towards Glenn Murray, who nods the header down, but he was fouling Eric Dyer in the process, holding his shirt, is what the referee's saying, inside the centre circle. Let's have a look. I don't think there was much in that, actually. I don't think there was any shirt pulling. But anyway, the ball's back in play straight away, and Tottenham are trying to play it quickly. Almost. Kieran Trippier is hassling Bong all the way back to Ryan, who, again, has to just lump it first time out towards the wing, and it's headed back, straight back into the danger area by Son, but it can't be kept in play because Trippier was in an offside position, so he had to leave it, and it went out for a throw, just in line with the edge of the Brighton box. Thrown in by Bong. One back by Tottenham, though, as they're trying to keep hold of the possession. Here's Bong again. Lumps it up the touchline on the far side. Brighton just can't quite get control of the ball. Neither can Tottenham. Eventually, Alderweireld has lumped it out of play. Obviously, Son hit the headlines recently due to he doesn't have to do national service in the military anymore because he won a gold medal at the Asian Games, which is one of the few things that can make you exempt from national service. So Tottenham very pleased about that because they won't lose one of their top performers as Brighton look to build from the back here. Not Brighton, Tottenham, sorry. As Dembele kicks it out to this near side with Rose, just up to the halfway line with Vertonghen. Is Dembele again looking forward to Harry Kane. Kane spreading out wide to Trippier. Trippier's got Son for support. Tries to play it to Son. It's a little bit sloppy for him, but picked up by Alderweireld. Driving deep into enemy territory. Now, here's Danny Rose on this near side touchline. Can he get across it? No, he's being hassled by Knockaert. Plays it back to Dembele. Now Vertonghen. Again, he likes to push a long way up, does Vertonghen. Here's Son. Plays out wide to Trippier. Will he cross it first time? Takes a touch near the corner flag. Whips it in towards the 6-yard box, but it's gone out for a corner. Headed away. Well blocked by Duffy. Two former Burnley players. Duffy was briefly at Burnley on loan about 4 or 5 seasons ago, and we all know about Kieran Trippier's Burnley past. I'm sure John will have told you a lot. I probably have as well. There's Alderweireld and Vertonghen both up for this corner. Both very aggressive players in terms of attacking a header. It's whipped in by Trippier towards the front post. Oh, it's a great header! It's saved by Matt Ryan, and it's flashed across the face of goal, and wow, goodness me. I don't know who headed that. It flashed across the face of goal. Brighton still, danger's not over yet as Knockaert loses possession on this near side touchline. Eriksen gets to the byline. Will he cross it? Tries to get it in. Harry Kane in the corner of the box. Tries to whip it towards the back stick, towards Son. Now, a chance possibly. Here's Son again on the edge of the box. Tries to flick it inside. Here's Trippier. Will he cross it first? Lovely check back. Whips it in towards the back post. No one's there. Can Danny Rose keep it in play? Just about whips it in first time again. Batten down the hatches. Brighton. Oh, it's fallen to Son on the edge of the box. Won't fall nicely though. Is Brighton just holding on here? Eriksen gets it to Trippier. Trippier again with a deep cross this time, but Matt Ryan comes out and grabs hold of it with both hands. Goodness me. So it was whipped in by Trippier from this cross. It was headed by Alderweireld at the near post, and Matt Ryan reacts so quickly. Genuinely, it was an astonishing save. He managed to palm it up nearly over the bar. It sort of went up in front of the crossbar, dropped back down, somehow a Tottenham player didn't finish it off. It flashed across the face of goal, and then you had that almighty melee. Although Brighton have given the ball away on the edge of their own box here. They just need to calm it down as Dembele has got the ball now for Spurs. 10 minutes gone. Brighton 0, Tottenham 0. Somehow there wasn't a goal in that recent flurry. Here's Eric Dyer. Son. Plays it out wide looking for Trippier again, but it's almost cut out by the Brighton defence, but not quite, as Tottenham retain possession. Here's Dembele. Dyer, just in the centre of the park at the moment, in the Brighton half. Dembele again, being closed down by Bong. Now Son. Again, Trippier hugging the touchline. Son has a shot from distance, and it goes wide of the left-hand post. Could have played Trippier out wide again, but elected not to. It's good to be different. Just not make yourself predictable. It's a good effort. Even the cameraman thought he was going to play it out wide, but no, it wasn't too far away. You're probably about a foot and a half wide of Matt Ryan's left-hand post. Still amazed that he managed to save that header from Alderweireld at the near post. It was lightning reactions. When you see it on Match of the Day, you'll see my commentary has done it absolutely no justice. It is it'll be up there with saves of the season at the end of it. That's as much justice as I can give it. As Matt Ryan lumps it long, Brighton win the header, and it's gone straight back to Ryan, who proceeds to lump it long immediately again, looking for Glenn Murray, the obvious target, battling away on the near side, on the far side touchline, and eventually wins himself a free kick as Eric Dyer was being a little bit too combative with him. Pochettino looking a little bit annoyed. As Glenn Murray, Eric Dyer almost had him in a headlock. Yeah. Pochettino doing almost the Italian swearing hand gesture, if you know what I mean. I think that means I'm slightly annoyed. And, well, it's a free kick to Brighton. About 40 yards out from goal on that far side. Just in front of the centre circle. Gaten Bong is going to take this one. I think Gaten is his first name. Either way, Bong is going to take this. Or whip it in. No, he's not. He faked it. Whip towards the back stick, towards Glenn Murray, where he's waiting, and an opportunity. Oh my word! Yeah, that wasn't Glenn Murray. That was that was the number 5, Dunk. And well, maybe with striking skills like I don't know. He chested it down, and here I was expecting a fantastic volley, and then the shot was so bad it's gone out for a throw. That's in line with the 6-yard box. That is quite a long way wide. Centre-halves finish, I suppose. Although Tony Adams could argue that centre-halves could finish. Anyway, Brighton have the ball back, however. They've won it back on the halfway line. And here's Knockaert on this near side. They get into the middle. But there's Tottenham players everywhere, almost winning the ball back. Stevens wins the ball. Plays it back to Duffy. Now Knockaert on this near side, being chased all the way and probably fouled. Yes, referee agrees. Fouled by Lucas Moura. It's annoying when footballers put their first names on the back of their shirt. How could they? How could they do that? Anyway, it just makes a commentator's job a bit of a nightmare, because you like, who's Lucas? Oh yeah, no, it's Moura. He's just too good to have his surname on the back, I suppose. Long ball played over the top by Brighton from this free kick. Tried to play it inside, but just couldn't quite get it to their own player as Alderweireld hacked it out for a throw in line with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. As Montoya comes over to take this one. Throws it straight to Knockaert, who gives it straight back to Montoya. Knockaert again. Oh, lovely. Gets past Moura easily, and then I was going to say Derek Rose. Danny Rose, I've been watching too much NBA, fouls Knockaert, and it's near the byline on this near side. He absolutely skinned Moura, and then Rose proceeded to take him out. Not in a vicious way, but it was one of those don't let him get the cross. So a much more promising position for Brighton here. On the near side, just by the byline, with the edge of the area. We're probably talking about 23 yards out, if I wanted to be really specific. As goalkeeper Gaza, number 22, gets his wall lined up. Opportunity now perhaps for Brighton, whipped in by Knockaert towards the back stick, and it's missed everyone and gone out for a goal kick. Knockout waving his arms, but the ball didn't. It just floated. It didn't come down. It's when it started coming down, it had already gone out of play. So I don't see what he's whinging about. As we get back underway with a goal kick, and Brighton win it straight back. And they've settled down a little bit now as Brighton. Say that as it goes out for a throw on the halfway line. Tottenham take it quickly. Here's Harry Kane, plays it lovely to Eriksen. Eriksen thinking about a shot from the edge of the area, deflected, and it's going to fall nicely for Matt Ryan. Eriksen obviously had a reasonably successful World Cup with Denmark. It's only so far you can one-man army it, but had a reasonable tournament, which obviously myself and John and the other commentators also helped cover. It was a terrific performance. I forget the other commentator's name. I'm really sorry. But there we go. As a free kick is won exactly on the halfway line, as Knockout gets himself stuck in with Mora this time. Tottenham take it short though. I will remember his name at some point. Somebody shout it at me in the comments section. I'm sure somebody will remind me. Tottenham are just playing it around at the back at the moment. Here's Vertonghen. Dembele. Never really thought of Dembele as a holding midfielder, but there you go. He's doing that job today, although he plays a lovely ball forward as laid off immediately to Harry Kane. Now Danny Rose on this near side byline, who's whipped in towards Son. The shot is deflected and it just loops over the bar. Had Matt Ryan very worried there. It's I was about to say Dembele's attacking qualities warrant him being a bit further up the pitch, but then he played a killer through ball which cut the defence open. It was laid off wonderfully by Harry Kane to Son, and Gaten Bong is to throw himself at it, and it's just loops over the bar. It's gone out for a corner, so danger's not done yet for Brighton. Here's Kieran Trippier. Can they recreate that near opportunity? No, as it's headed away at the near post by a Brighton player. It's gone straight back though to Trippier. Plays it back to Dembele. Dembele plays a low ball towards Lucas Moura, who's on the far side byline, whips it in towards the penalty area, but it's cleared away by Brighton. Brighton now, could they counter-attack? Here's Knockout advancing down this near side touchline. He's got Danny Rose with him all the way. He's almost blown by him. He's still going and he's ran out of pitch, but it's a throw to Brighton. Just on the edge of the final third. He was leaving Danny Rose for dead there. That was incredible. Just went past him once. Danny Rose caught up again, so he proceeds to knock it past him a second time. Incredible. So it's a throw deep into the Tottenham half. Brighton certainly turned that dangerous situation into a great attacking opportunity as Danny Rose is adjusting his shin pad. He doesn't appear to be wearing any socks. We've also got a player down for Brighton at the moment. The physio's having to come on. It's the number 6, isn't it? Shane Duffy. Yes, the former Burnley man I mentioned earlier. He's currently down on the edge of the Tottenham box. He hasn't made it back. So perhaps Brighton could be forced into an early change here. He's looking at his left knee. Just trying to see where the injury could have occurred here. He flung himself at Moura. And yeah. No, it's not Duffy. It's Will Stevens, sorry. My apologies. As I said, I'm still fairly rusty with the commentary. As Stevens currently having a problem with his left knee. There is a substitute being readied, so that could be his day over. But he flung himself at Lucas Moura's cross, which has caused him the problem. And the substitute's getting ready. I don't know who's going to be coming on for him. We shall soon find out, but it looks like that Stevens' day is going to come to a premature end. Only 20 minutes in to this fixture. Mike Dean is the 4th official today. He's having a chat with Chris Hughton. Everybody loves Mike Dean. Whether you love him when he's not reffing your game. That's how it's put. I personally think he's hilarious, but well, Stevens is back on his feet. He is walking towards the sideline. Whether he's going to be substituted, we shall see. But at present, it's not been confirmed yet whether he's going to come off. And it does look like that's going to be the end of his afternoon. as he leaves the field to a standing ovation. He has put in a good shift. He may have only been there for 20 minutes, but he was causing all kinds of disruption to the wingers of Tottenham. And he will be missed quite a lot by Brighton, I'm sure. It's going to be Kayal. I think that's how you say his name. Kayal. Don't really know how you pronounce it. Number 7. He's coming on in place of Stevens. Whether it's a straight swap or whether they're going to plan to change formation, we shall see. But it's Kyle on for Stevens. Stevens is easy to pronounce, but there you go. I'm always whinging about pronunciation. It's part and parcel of being a commentator. Anyway, back to the throw, which we still haven't taken yet. As we're ready to go again. Montoya looking for options. Nobody's being statues. Throws it in towards Glenn Murray on the byline. Loses the ball immediately. And now Tottenham looking to break away here. That is a big foul by Bong. Stopping a counter-attack. I'm surprised that's not a yellow card. It wasn't Bong, actually. It was... goodness, I'm getting like Bissouma? The number 8, I think he is. Yeah, number 8, Bissouma. Took him out. I'm surprised he didn't get a yellow card for that one. He stopped Tottenham counter-attack, so it was a good foul in terms of tactics. Anyway, here's Dembele with the ball in the centre circle. He hits the deck. Refs waving advantage, as Tottenham still have the ball. For Kieran Trippier. Ericsson. Son. Ericsson again. Just inside the Brighton half on the far side. There's Trippier again. Ericsson. Slowly advancing forward. Ericsson looking to switch the players. Danny Rose is... No, it's not Danny Rose. It's Lucas Moura is hugging this near side touchline. And he's sold almost all of his teammates short, but Dembele shows a clean pair of heels and keeps the possession for Tottenham. Here is Moura. Now it's Danny Rose at the byline. Whips it across towards the 6-yard box. Looking for Harry Kane, who can't get anything on it. And Solly March has to hoof it away for a corner. As... Danny Rose delivering a great... Harry Kane just did not get the connection. He did get his head on it, but he glanced it. And he... Well, it was very little glancing. Because it essentially just ricocheted off his head rather than anything. But Tottenham, again, have another corner on that far side. Kieran Trippier whipping it in towards the front stick. Towards Harry Kane. It gets hoofed away. Only as far as Ericsson. And Knockarts has been fouled by Ericsson. Who... again, stops another counter-attack. Referee's keeping his cards in his pockets. And, well, it was a shirt pull. That should, by the book, be a yellow card. But I suppose that would mean that he's walking on a tightrope for the rest of the match for a bit of a small foul. As we see Dele Alli not looking very happy to be on the bench. It is what it is, boy. You've just got to accept it. Brighton looking to advance here. They've taken the free kick quickly, and now we're on the far side. Ball's gone out for a throw on that far side, just under the edge of the Tottenham area. So we approach the 24th minute. Gaten Bong looking to take the throw, looking for options. Plays it short, immediately gets it back, but he's immediately closed down by Son. However, he's got past Son, and now Bong, he was, well... He's quick, but he's not that quick, as he was given a rather hefty pass to chase after by the substitute Kyle, who, well, maybe thought he was Usain Bolt. I don't know. It sold him a very bad pass there. It's a goal kick to Tottenham. And Gaza plays it to the... Not very far. It was a chipped goal kick. But he immediately gets it back because it doesn't really get them anywhere. Oldveld plays it forward. Dembele just bringing it into the centre circle now, over the halfway line. Danny Rose is making a great run on this left-hand side, near side touchline. Now Lucas Moura found himself some space with all the attention going to Danny Rose, but loses out to Knockaert. Knockaert then hits the deck and wins the free kick. Moura just needs to keep his hands off people because in the Premier League they're going to fall over. Did really well, got past one man, but then Knockaert won the ball back and then he just pushed him in the back. Wasn't a massive push, but, you know, that's enough for Premier League players to go down. 25 minutes gone. Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Tottenham 0. Or Tottenham Hotspur, if I'm going really full names. As Danny Rose on this near side dinks it forward, looking for Lucas Moura, who can't keep it in play. It's gone out for a throw on this near side. Moura looking rather frustrated at the moment. He is having a bit of a frustrating time. It's a throw to Brighton. throwing it forward towards the halfway line, looking for a flick on from Glenn Murray, but he doesn't get the touch. However, it's gone out for another Brighton throw, right on the halfway line. Thrown again towards Glenn Murray, who again can't win the header as Danny Rose wins that one. Knockout battles for the second. Third header is won by a Tottenham player, but it's hoofed forward by Duffy. And it's going to go out for a throw just in line with Tottenham's box, as the Tongans, well, he looked like he was going to throw it, but then threw it at Danny Rose, who's going to take the throw. No, you take it. No, you take it. And then they play it short, which Vertonghen's probably going to just lump this long. Yep, up the touchline towards Harry Kane, but the head is immediately won by Knockaert. However, it's fallen to Eriksson in the centre circle, and now an opportunity for Son. Oh, he tripped over his own feet, but it fell back to Kieran Trippier. Now Eric Dyer just on the halfway line. The chance to fast break was there, but it's gone now. Dyer again battling forward, heading over towards the far side touchline where Trippier is holding it. Plays it back to Eriksson. Alderweireld gives it straight back to Eriksson after receiving it. Eriksson again. Still Eriksson. He's just on the edge of the final third. Trippier tries to play it round the corner towards Lucas Moura, who's kind of floating. Tries to get it past Bong, but he gets the ball into the box, but it is a trickled cross along the ground. Easily cleared. It's gone out for a throw to Tottenham on that far side touchline. They take it short and quick. Ball's going back to Vertonghen. Bringing it over the halfway line on this near side. Danny Rose now checks back inside. Has to play it back though to Dembele, who's in the centre circle. It's kind of the holding roles position really, just the centre circle. Here's Moura trying to play it into the box towards Harry Kane, but it's run straight through to Matt Ryan. Kane hasn't really had, he's only had that one real chance with that glanced header which he messed up. Not really in this game at the moment. Concerning form really for the World Cup Golden Boot winner, which he likes to remind people of. As Brighton looking to come forward, but they lose the ball in the middle of the park again. Here is Harry Kane in the centre circle, gets it off Dembele, and proceeds to try to Hollywood pass it out to Danny Rose on this near side, but it didn't really work. And well, the ball's gone out for a throw on the halfway line to Brighton on this near side. Pochettino and his assistant just telling people his players to calm down, overcomplicating things. Looking for Glenn Murray with this throw again, but doesn't win the header. It's gone straight through to Alderweireld. Played himself back into the picture. At one point they were looking at selling him. Now all of a sudden he's starting alongside Vertonghen. So good for him, I suppose. Whether that's just Tottenham trying to increase his transfer value, I don't know. As he plays a long ball over the top to Trippier. Controls it, lays it off to Moura. Moura inside to Eriksson. Eriksson plays it to Kane on the edge of the semicircle, on the edge of the Brighton box. Gets it to Son, who's just in the corner of the box. Checks inside, has a shot, but it's gone a long way wide to the right of Matt Ryan's goal. It was a lovely pass by Vertonghen. Got it forward to Trippier, and then Son just checked it onto his right foot, but and that could arguably be a corner. I think that's what he was complaining about. But the lineswoman or linesman, whatever you want to. I don't really know what do you call them a linesman still? Even though it's, I don't want to get into the whole title thing. Anyway, the official on that side. We'll go with that. That's the word I was looking for. The official said it was a goal kick, so the goal kick is proceeded to be taken by Ryan. Now Gate and Bong on that far side. Duffy. Now to Dunk. Now Knockaert on this near side, although he's being hassled by Son. Gives it straight back to Duffy. Knockaert's looking for the give and go, but it didn't quite come off as Danny Rose read it, and he wins the ball back on the halfway line. Now here's Eric Dyer into the centre circle. Just advancing forward. Lucas Moura now. Back to Eric Dyer, who's just on that far side now. Essentially in the right back spot, because Kieran Trippier has marauded forward again as usual. Half an hour has gone. We're a third of the way through this match now. Danny Rose on this near side. 1-2's it with Son. Gets it straight back. Tries to turn his man, but he's being hassled all the way by Knockaert. Tottenham again being forced backwards. Alderweireld now with the ball. Plays it to Dyer, who, as I said, is sort of sitting in the right back position because Kieran Trippier has gone a long way up. Alderweireld again. Now here is Trippier. He's had to drop back because Brighton are pressing quite a high way up the pitch. And they're forced to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Tottenham. Now Vertonghen as Brighton drop back and reshape. Vertonghen. Dembele in the centre circle. Trying to play it forward to Eriksen. Good turn by Eriksen onto his left foot. Gets it forward to Son on this near side. Oh, and he gets fouled. About 30 yards out from goal in line with the byline. Have they taken it quickly? Yes, they have. The ref's letting it go in the middle of the park at the moment with Dembele. Now, Danny Rose. Would he look for the cross? No, he's being forced backwards. Eriksen and Rose just exchanging passes on this near side. Eriksen again. Being forced backwards though. As Bissouma is forcing Tottenham back. Back with Alderweireld, who is in the Brighton half at the moment. Going to play it forward, but it's cut out by Dunk. Now Brighton, can they counter here? Here's an opportunity. Can Knockaert get past his man? No, he's forced backwards to Kyle. Now Dunk. Here's Knockaert trying to play it forward, but now it's Tottenham's turn to really press the play. And Brighton being forced to hoof it forward. Gone as far as Alderweireld, who heads it back straight into Brighton's possession. Knockaert trying to get it forward. But they lose the ball and it's gone out for a throw on this near side. Touchline on the halfway line again. Danny Rose is going to take this one. So that rain is not letting up. If anything, it's getting heavier. Shock horror, it's England. Tottenham just playing it around at the back again. I say at the back, they're on the halfway line. They're just retaining possession at the moment. Here's Eric Dyer just bringing it forward. He's played it back to Trippier. Eriksen looking to get round the corner to Lucas Moura. Forced backwards though as he's being followed by Bong and Solly March. Tottenham again being forced backwards, forced to reset. Here's Vertonghen. Just bringing it over the halfway line. Danny Rose, Son and Lucas Moura appear to have switched wings, which they'll probably do a few times just to keep the defence on edge. As Son tries to get past his man Knockaert, but Knockaert knocks it out of play. Sorry, that was a terrible pun. Like I said, bit rusty. As they go all the way back to Vertonghen. Vertonghen, however, almost loses the ball out to Glenn Murray, but proceeds to bash the ball away from him, making Murray hit the deck. It was very physical, but fair. Firm but fair. It's Tottenham again looking to march it forward. Here's Danny Rose on this near side. Now Son hugging the touchline, being forced backwards though by Montoya. And almost losing possession. It's Glenn Murray getting himself in there. And now Brighton, could they counter-attack here? Here's Knockaert moving up this near side touchline. Can he keep it in play? He can. He's just got to the byline. He's up against Vertonghen. Whips it in towards the back stick. It's missed everyone and it's gone out for a goal kick to Tottenham. He hasn't quite got his crosses right this time. But Tottenham got themselves all in a muddle in the middle of the park. And one long ball over the top to Knockaert, who was running up the wing. He only had Glenn Murray to aim for, unfortunately, but his cross, well, it wouldn't have troubled anyone. He hasn't, like I said, he hasn't got his crosses right today. But it was Vertonghen who just forgot to take the ball with him, and then it was just a Brighton counter-attack. But they've got away with it, Tottenham. I say that, they nearly gave the ball away again, but Eric Dyer forced into a lunging manoeuvre to keep that in Tottenham's possession. And now they're just bringing it up over the halfway line. I say that as Eric Dyer switches the play to the far side flank. Lucas Moura looking to get past Bong. He's got it into the box. He's chipped it towards the back post where Son is waiting, but it's just about cleared by Montoya. Goodness me. Just one switch of play from Eric Dyer. It was a great ball. Managed to get it to Lucas Moura, but it didn't quite come off. And Tottenham looking to reset with Alderweireld on the halfway line. Trippier. Alderweireld again. Alderweireld this time going for the long ball towards Son, but Matt Ryan's out there to catch it. At the second attempt, ball is a little bit slippery, it being raining sideways almost. 35 minutes gone. Brighton 0, Tottenham 0. Matt Ryan drop kicks it. It's going long to that far side towards Glenn Murray, who can't quite control it, and it's gone out for a Tottenham throw just inside their half, and they throw it all the way back to the goalkeeper. So neither side really has control of this game. Tottenham have more of the ball, but they haven't made any major clear-cut chances. They've put the ball in the box a lot, much like Brighton have on occasions, but they just haven't found the targets. So nothing has really come of it, as Son, battling for the ball on this near side, wins it. And the ball's gone all the way back to the Tottenham goalkeeper again. Now Alderweireld. Here is Eric Dyer, bringing it into the centre circle. Over the halfway line now, heading towards this near side. Gets it to Danny Rose. On this near side, though, being forced backwards, being chased all the way by Knockaert. He's gone back to Dyer now. Vertonghen, Alderweireld in the centre circle, bringing it over the halfway line again. Here's Dembele. First touch almost gets him past his man, but he's forced backwards by the second man coming along. Alderweireld, Dyer tries to get it to Son, but his first touch lets him down, and it goes straight back into Brighton's possession. Here's Bissouma. Tried to get it to Knockaert, but again his first touch lets him down. And Tottenham get the ball back. Still in the Brighton half. Dembele can't quite keep control of the ball. Brighton player pulled down. Referee playing advantage. As Brighton still have the ball. Almost playing themselves into danger there, but they just about get away with it. Nope. They do, well, oh, goodness me. I was going to say they do get away with it. The pass that was supposed to go back to Gatenbong, but Gatenbong was over the halfway line as opposed to back in the left-back position. So they just about recovered it as Bong managed to run back and get it. They have possession of the ball, but they're in their own box at the moment. Now here's Knockaert on this near side. Checked back on himself, and Son kept on going the opposite direction. So good check back. It's gone back to Ryan. Hasn't really got many options, so he's going to go long towards Glenn Murray, who flicks it on, but he can't quite find a target. And now it's back in possession of Tottenham in the centre circle for Tongan. Eric Dyer now. Lucas Moura plays it into Ericsson, who gives it straight back. Now Kieran Trippier on that far side touchline, lurking, plays it back to Dembele. Now Vertonghen, Eric Dyer just on the halfway line. Danny Rose on this near side touchline near the halfway line, plays it forward to Son, hugging the touchline, but being forced backwards again, back into his own half on this near side. Tottenham just struggling to break down Brighton at the moment, almost overplaying it as such, as Brighton get more and more confidence. They're growing into this game, almost winning possession back in. Tottenham overcomplicating the passing. Eric Dyer just inside the Brighton half, bringing it forward up against Bissouma. Here's Dembele playing it forward. Harry Kane, who's dropped deep to receive the ball. It's played back to Harry Kane. Kane trying to bombard his way through, and it's a free kick, I believe, has been given against Gatenbong. Lucas Moura giving him some lip. Let's just have a look here. Bong. Yeah, the contact started outside the box. There were calls for a penalty, but he made contact. It wasn't much contact, but the initial foul was just outside the box, which Gatenbong is still contesting because it was very light contact on Harry Kane. Like we're literally talking a minor brush, but as I said earlier, that's enough to make a Premier League player fall over. Anyway, we're about to hit the 40th minute, and Brighton have a free kick to defend as Kieran Trippier and Lucas Moura. It's just to the right of centre, about 22, maybe 25 yards out. Lucas Moura and Kieran Trippier both standing over it. It's a good position for Kieran Trippier to shoot from. He's already scored one cracking free kick this season already. He scored an absolute belter at the World Cup. He's certainly got it in his locker nowadays. As Knockaert and Eric Dyer are currently having an argument in the box, but the referee is saying, enough of that, please. I'd like to get on with the game. As we are about to hit the 40th minute. Referee is finally happy, I think. Yep. So it's going to be Kieran Trippier to take it, as Moura darted forward, but he's not been played to. So I'm guessing Trippier's going to shoot. Trippier steps up, has a shot, hits the wall. It's going to go out for a throw on the far side to Tottenham. Or was that handball? No, it was given as handball. And a penalty's been given. He's given a penalty. Referee has given a penalty for an arm up in the wall. Goodness me. Well, talk about... Let's have a look at this. I think he's penalising Anthony Knockaert. Let's have a look. I mean, he was protecting his face, but yeah, that's, I suppose, yeah, that's rather blatant handball. So yeah, there's a penalty. Referee's got it spot on, and well, Tottenham, who haven't really caused Brighton problems all game, now have a chance from the spot. It's Harry Kane. He's had a mediocre start to the season. What's his confidence like, I wonder? He's been his last 5 penalties, all scored, 1 in the centre. All the others have gone to the left-hand side of the goal. So let's see. Will he stick with his usual left, or will he change? Kane steps up, goes left, scores. Never in doubt, really. And Harry Kane has buried it for Tottenham. Not really deserving of the lead. I think 0-0 is probably more fair, but it was a penalty. And Tottenham now find themselves in front. After long resistance, Anthony Knockaert is arguing with the referee over the award of the penalty. But Harry Kane smashes it into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal, which is his favoured side. Matt Ryan went the wrong way. And it is Tottenham 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. 42 minutes gone. It's a penalty given for it. It was handball. I mean, he moved his arm towards the ball, and the referee had no choice. He didn't have a choice but to give it. Unfortunately, it was one of those where the referee just had to give it, because if he didn't, it would have been an absolute travesty. But there you go, Brighton now. Could they hit back, as they've won a free kick? They'd love to get an equaliser before half-time. That would certainly make them feel a little bit better. But they're 1-0 down of their own doing, really. I've got a free kick on this near side. As Harry Kane, that was his 3rd goal of the season. So not too bad. We're 6 games in? It's whipped in by Knockaert. That's a bit of a better cross. Not quite cleared by Tottenham. It's come back to Knockaert, who's got to the byline. Can he get a cross in? Knockaert, he's got 2 men to try and get past. He's got Kyle back for support. He uses Kyle. Now a chance perhaps for Montoya to get the ball in the box, but it's gone straight through to the goalkeeper, who clutches it. And Chris Hughton is not happy with the kind of ball that was put in the box. So he wanted it whipped out, like an outswinger rather than an in-swinger. But there you go. It's not easy in the rain. 43 minutes gone, 2 minutes before half-time. And we got our first goal from the penalty spot on this rainy day in Brighton. Harry Kane with his 3rd goal of the season is what separates these two sides, as Tottenham just looking to build from the back. Maybe just hold on to the ball for the rest of the half, get to half-time 1-0 up, although that ball was very suspect from the Tottenham goalkeeper. They just about get away with it, do they? It's gone back to the goalkeeper. And now it's Alderweireld looking to build from the back. Just needs to calm things down a bit, Tottenham. Brighton are certainly trying to push forward, pressing high up there. I count 6 Brighton players in the Tottenham half at the moment, while Tottenham are playing around at the back. Back to the goalkeeper again. Here's the Tongan. He might be forced into just playing hoofball at this point, although he's managed to run into some space. Here's Alderweireld now. Just heading towards the halfway line now. Here's Dembele, and followed by Bissouma. Plays it off to Eric Dyer. Dyer plays it forward to Eriksson. Eriksson gets it forward to Lucas Moura, who's hugging the far side touchline. Plays it inside to Son, who's got to the byline, but he's muscled off of it by Dunk, who then puts it into Rosed. No messing around. Yeah. 1 minute away from half-time. There'll probably be a couple of minutes added on for Stevens' injury earlier, so I'll probably say another 3 minutes still to go of this half. Chris Hughton looks on, chewing his gum with a stern face. Tottenham, they'd love to get a second before half-time, as they play it short, but they run into traffic, although they're being forced backwards, and it's gone out for a throw a little bit further back, but Trippier plays it quickly, although the ball has gone straight back to the halfway line, and now it's going to be in possession of Vertonghen, just inside the centre circle. Now Danny Rose, back to Vertonghen. Alderweireld, all inside the Spurs half at the moment. Eric Dyer looking forward for Moura, gets it straight back. 45 minutes have been played, and we've got 2 minutes added on, so fairly good guess. Here's Dyer on the far side, plays it back to Alderweireld. Tottenham definitely looking like they just want to keep hold of the ball and get to half time 1-0 up. Here's Dembele in the centre circle, just inside the Brighton half, playing it forward to Son. Son plays it forward to Kane, who gives it straight back to Son, who plays it out wide to this near side with Danny Rose. Rose tries to play it inside to Kane, but it's a terrible ball through, and it's picked off by Dunk. Now Bissouma. Now Knockaert. We just couldn't quite get the ball under his control, and Son goes in with a flying sliding tackle. I say flying sliding tackle. Yeah, I suppose. A little bit of airtime. The argument, I suppose, really for Brighton is that whether that was a free kick or not. Because the replay, there's minimalistic contact. Was it a dive by Harry Kane? Did Harry Kane dive to get that free kick, which led to the handball? It's not like that's what Brighton will be arguing. They'll be saying it was never a free kick, which would have meant the handball would have never happened. But there you go. That's football for you. Tottenham again, as I said, they're just playing it around at the back now. Alderweireld. Got 45 seconds left of this injury time. They're just playing it around at the back at the moment. Vertonghen. Alderweireld. Brighton pushing a long way up, just trying to force them into giving up possession, perhaps, is Eric Dyer. Trippier switches the play to this near side touchline. Vertonghen. Dembele. Into the centre circle we go. Dyer plays it forward. Eriksson looking for Lucas Moura, who's hugging that touchline. Could they go for a second just before half time? We're into the last 10 seconds. Eriksson plays it to Dembele. Dembele looking for options. He hasn't really got many. Referee looks at his watch. I make it 2 minutes. Is he going to let the play carry on? Here's Son on the edge of the box. Referee's had enough. The 2 minutes are over. 47 minutes gone. We are into half time, and it is Tottenham 1, controversially, by a penalty. Nonetheless, but it is Tottenham 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0 at the Amex Stadium. I'm going to hand you back over to John Stuttard for some reaction to the results earlier in the day, and I will be back for the second half. I say I'm going to hand you over to John. John, are you with me? Are you on the other end? As Panini's just keeping us informed that QPR and Norwich is currently 0-0. At least we've had a goal. So, should Knockaert be given a red card too for the handball? It's not really. Well, I suppose it's not really going over his head. It would have hit him in the face. So it's not stopping a goal scoring opportunity. So I suppose that's why it wouldn't be a red card. But it was a definite penalty. As the plan was that we were going to get some reaction from. We were going to hear from Sean Dyche over the 4-0 victory over Bournemouth earlier, but some stuff doesn't go to plan. I was going to rest my voice, but that's obviously not going to happen at present. Maybe John's having some more power issues. His controller died on him towards the back end of that match. So let's have a look at what's going on wise. Well, we can talk about obviously the penalty that was awarded. You can't put your hand up and say it's not deliberate even if you're protecting your face. A lot of people saying the game is quite boring. Brighton fans are angry towards the referee. It's one of the most blatant penalties. I think it's more a case of the argument over it being a free kick. It's the free kick that led to the handball that I think the Brighton fans are slightly angry about, because it was very minimal contact. Very minimal. In other news, meanwhile over at Accrington Stanley, has anyone lost their false teeth at Accrington Stanley this afternoon? They're being kept in the office. They have managed to find someone's false teeth. Gotta love that. Yeah, that's great stuff. Accrington, great stuff. Really making sure that people have their important things to hand. So let's talk about the results that were earlier in the day. Let's do that, because I know that John was going to talk about it. I don't know what's happened the other end of the line, but we shall see. So obviously, let's talk about Liverpool having their best start to a Premier League campaign ever. Full stop. They are 6 for 6. They've won every match. They're doing incredibly well. See if I can get the stats up on that, because Liverpool are definitely one of the more exciting sides to watch this season. So there was an own goal, a goal from Matip and Mo Salah, of course. All goals in the first half, as Liverpool comfortably won, 3 and easy, as it was described. Obviously, Southampton didn't have Danny Ings, obviously, because he's on loan from Liverpool, so they won't ever let him play against his parent club as such. But Liverpool were very good in that game. And let's talk about their start to the season, shall we? Are we realistically looking at Liverpool winning the Premier League this season? Are we getting ahead of ourselves because, they've won 6 for 6? Or are they genuine contenders this year? I think they are genuine contenders. I think they are the only contenders to Man City, really. Obviously, Manchester City are second in the table with 16 points because they drew with Wolves, didn't they? Who also drew with the other Manchester club today at Old Trafford, but we'll get to that in a moment. But those two teams, obviously, the other thing we've forgot to mention, Chelsea haven't played yet. They are the other team that's 100%. So if Chelsea win their game tomorrow, I do believe they play tomorrow, they play West Ham. Not an easy game, that's for sure. But then Liverpool and Chelsea play each other twice in the same week. They play each other in the EFL Cup, and then they play each other in the Premier League on the Saturday. That is the other 5:30 kickoff. That could be an interesting one. It's as I'm covering I generally seem to be covering the 5:30 kickoffs on Saturday at the moment. That seems to be the routine. Millwall need a forward. 21st, they're 21st and no wins in 5. Well, in terms of the Championship, let me get that up. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on today. Well, as much as I'd love to fit it all into the half-time show, John, I don't know what's happened to John. He was supposed to be getting us some reaction to the Burnley-Bournemouth match, but that unfortunately doesn't seem to have happened. Feel free to interject, John, if you have managed to recover, but I don't know what's gone on. It's, obviously, the other thing today, the other mentionable thing was Sir Alex Ferguson's return to Old Trafford. Obviously, he had that awful health scare, and he was back at Old Trafford today. Unfortunately, to see them draw against Wolves in his case, but his health will be the only thing that really matters in that regard. So let's just quickly. John did the classified results earlier, but obviously we had Fulham and Watford drew 1-1. Burnley Bournemouth finished 4-0 to Burnley, and City turned Cardiff over 5-0. Crystal Palace and Newcastle finished 0-0. Leicester and Huddersfield finished 3-1 to Leicester. Liverpool, Southampton, we just mentioned. Man United, Wolves, just mentioned them. The only other score is at half-time. Tottenham 1, Brighton 0. But it's been a cracking game of action. Cracking day of action, should I say, for the Premier League. Plenty of goals, unless, as I said, Crystal Palace and Newcastle fans. Talking about the Championship, let's talk about Millwall then, shall we? They're 21st. It's not the best place to be. 22nd now, actually, because I don't know how they've ended up 22nd now, but they're currently 22nd with 6 points and 9 games played. So it's not been great for them. It could be worse. You could be Ipswich or Preston. But you did play West Brom today, and West Brom are a very good side. However, the no wins in 5 is not helpful. But it just is what it is. Obviously, it didn't help when Tim Cahill came and went, didn't he? He's left for Jamshedpur FC, some Indian Super League side. That's literally the retirement league. Other results in the Championship, well, the only game today was West Brom Millwall. Was it? No, it wasn't. I'm talking rubbish. The other games today, Sheffield Wednesday beat Aston Villa. Derby, Frank Lampard's Derby beat Brentford 3-1. Ipswich and Bolton Wanderers. Obviously Bolton, the Bolton player, what's Derby, was he called? I should know his name. It's really bad of me not to know him, but he got diagnosed with motor neuron disease, which is it's a horrible disease. and I wish him all the best. I'll get it to him. Yeah, it was Derby, Stephen Derby, ex-Liverpool, but it's shocking, really. He was obviously just got married to Steph Houghton as well. Oh, Steph Houghton, the one of the women's players who. It's such a sad thing to see. At 29 as well, it's a terrible disease, and I wish him all the best. But it's so hard for someone that age to be diagnosed with disease. And obviously, Steph Houghton is still going to keep playing in the women's leagues, but Stephen Darby obviously has been forced to retire because of it. So it's one of the sad stories of this football season, really. But health comes first, and quite rightfully so. He's decided to retire to fight it, and I wish him all the best with that. He's definitely never really got the fair crack of the whip at Liverpool, but then when you're at Liverpool, it's really hard to stand out amongst all the talent that was there. Obviously, he was, I believe he was a fullback, wasn't he? Which, when you're at the club, when players like Fabio Aurelio and all that were struggling to get games, you had Glenn Johnson in his prime. It really tough for them for him to break in. So he was a good young talent. Shame it's come to an early end, but there you go. I wish him all the best, as I said. So still, we're just waiting for the second half to get underway. As I said, it's been a fairly even game. Not exactly exciting, as I said, because both teams lacking the final ball, but ultimately it's a penalty that is the difference between these two sides. Harry Kane buried a penalty for a rather blatant handball that was blocking a free kick which arguably shouldn't have been given. And I'm just going to take a quick breather here because I need to rest my voice, and I will come back to you when the second half begins. For the moments, thank you for listening. I hope you've all enjoyed my commentary so far, and I shall be back with you shortly when the second half begins. Obviously, I need to rest my voice, otherwise I'm going to have nothing left. So I shall be back in about 5 minutes, I would imagine. I'll speak to you all then. Right, ladies and gents, there may be a rather big problem at the other end. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue streaming. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, but there appears to be a big problem at the other end. So I don't know if this stream is going to keep going. As you can see, it says on the screen, you can see before you, the PS4 will be turned off in 10 minutes because of power saving settings. I don't know what's happened to John. He appears to have disappeared. So you will have to just bear with us. The stream may go offline and then reappear. I don't know. But at present, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to cover the second half, which is a little bit annoying on my end. But bear with us. It may change. So feel free to hang tight. But if the stream just suddenly stops, then you will know why. But for at present, you're just gonna have to bear with.